Welcome to DT Madness, Chronicles from the Third Life, episode 116, December 21st, 2024. So glad you could make it. Good Saturday morning winter solstice to you. The shortest daylight day of the year in this hemisphere, and I think it happened at 4:21 or something like that this morning, so everything gets longer up to summer, as you know. What you may not know is that I have never had a mocha. I was just thinking about it. Never had a mocha. I'm a coffee guy. I like coffee. I like the Americano. The, I like it. I like latte. I've even had a breve, I think, or at least I know what it is. Cappuccino, had it all. Never had a latte. Nope, never had a mocha. Never had a mocha. But I do know what I like, and what I usually do is just get that. I like chocolate, okay, but I'm more of a vanilla, more of a caramel kind of guy. And so if I'm going to get any flavors in my coffee, then I think it's going to be that. Um, and I'm like that pretty much anywhere that I go. If I know what I like, then I'm going to get it because there's no risk. But maybe I should take more risks. I'll tell you what else believe in, a good list maybe of things that I am firmly that I'm firm in my convictions. I do think you should hold firm on your text if it has errors in it. I mean, if it has errors, if you've misspelled a word, if autocorrect got you, I believe in trusting the recipient to decode. I don't need to go back and fix every single thing. If it's messed up to the point where it's illegible, then okay. But come on, I don't need to go back and edit that junk. I do like the send later function. That is very nice. I believe in flushing the public toilets with my foot uh, or the back of the hand. I don't like touching, and I'm a pre-flusher. I like to flush and then step back and let your I like to let it go on down. I believe in living for concerts, LIVIN, as my guy Wooderson says in Dazed and Confused. And I love live music. And I saw Widespread Panic a bunch of times, Acoustic Syndicate a bunch of times, Mandolin Orange, whatever, Buffett, James Taylor, Tracy Chapman, Natalie Merchant. I could go on. I could go on for sure. But my band of choice, of course, these days is Fish. And of course, I'm going to New York if the plans all hold next week about this time. I'll be there. Um, I've been wrestling with it. I've been wrestling with it, and my kids will roll their eyes and they will say, "Yeah, what a surprise. We knew you were always going to be going." And maybe so. And I was working to get myself there with the number that it was going to cost me to go solo. But it turns out that my friend Matthew wants to go as well, and so we started rationalizing with each other and figuring it all out. And the we found the tickets first, and then we booked the flights, and I already had the hotel. He'll split it with me, so basically, I'm saving money. Um, Probably going to check out a show during the afternoon while I'm up there as well. It's going to be sleepy. It's going to be sleepy because we leave out early Saturday, and get there, and then to the greatest city in the world, and then show Saturday night, and then show Sunday night. But our plane back home leaves out of Jersey at about 6:20 in the a.m. So there's not going to be a whole bunch of sleeping going on. Which at 46, almost 47 years old, is it's going to set me back a little bit. Um, but yeah, for the third year in a row, headed to MSG, and pretty excited. Pretty excited. I'll tell you what else I like is stickers. I do. I like stickers. I like to put them on my water bottles and my coffee mugs and my laptop covers. And I don't know if I'll put one on the new car. It won't be anytime soon. I like to let it sit and develop its own character for a little bit. Um, Sydney got into Campbell University, and they are the Camels. And when they sent us the packet that had the admissions letter in it, um, it had the stickers. It had some camel stickers, and I like that. And so that makes me want to be for them. But hopefully Furman will send us some stickers in a couple of weeks. We find out on January 15th. I believe in getting to school early. I'm not. It's kind of a, I don't know, relatively new thing, that I am definitely a morning person. And yeah, I'll usually get to school no later than 6:30 a.m. and sometimes as early as 6 a.m. And I get there and I can read, I can get all of my lesson plans done for how many ever days, grade whatever I need to grade, get settled in for tennis practice or whatever it is that's going on, and then just have a little time kind of with the school to myself to think about things and ponder things. So I believe in Jeopardy contestants going straight down. I don't like this new trend where it's not new. I mean, I know the champions, Ken Jennings and all them figured it out. And they go daily double hunting and they start with 600. Come on, start with 200. Go 2, 4, 6, 8. And I pull for the people who do that. I believe in switching shampoo flavors. I like to have one for the morning and one for the evening. And then once those run out, I like to switch up. Um, I also think it's important to change up your shower routine. And that's a different thing for me as well. Busting out of this cocoon, this chrysalis, I guess. I think that doing a different routine in the morning, I'm a two shower guy, but so morning and night, doing it in different orders and switching it up once in a while. I think it keeps your brain sharp. I do the same thing with my desktop, with my, what do you call those things? The icons on my phone, the apps. I like to switch them around sometimes so that I don't just have to use procedural memory. I have to actually use my my attention, and I think it keeps me sharp. I believe in looking like really hunting for the inspiration in poetry and art. Whether that's in a novel, I'm reading Thich Nhat Hanh again, his Your True Home every day. I'm reading Mary Oliver's Devotions again, but I'm going from the back to the front. And I know that there's inspiration in there, and I'm really looking for it. I'm really waiting for it to wash over me. Maybe it's at the river, the sparkles. Maybe it's a scene of beauty. It will certainly be in New York when I'm at the Fish concert. When they play certain notes or certain vibes, it washes over you. But I believe in really hunting for that and going to see it. I believe in being the first to stand up to ovate. Is that a word? Is ovate the verb form of ovation? But if something's really good and really moving, I'm not going to wait around to see if anybody else is going to stand up to clap. I'm going to bust up out of my seat. And I got to do that at my friend's uh, production Christmas play that we go to every year called The Birth. I didn't have to hunt very hard at all to get the inspiration from it. I tear up very quickly because of the amazing power, the amazing beauty, the simplicity of what is supposed to be the gospel that is presented by Nathan and his troupe. So, yeah, I believe in music, man. If you get confused, listen to the music play. I like to listen to it. I like to have it on. I like to listen to jazz and classical, hip hop. I like to listen to long, drawn out 30-minute jams by, with Jerry on the lead or Trey on the lead, whatever. I love music. Who could ask for anything more? I believe in ferocious grace. And that is a term that I used when I sent Sydney a text a couple of days ago. I mean, we were wrestling with some things about how the GPA system works, about college admissions. We're wrestling with stubborn professors and things like this through the Cleveland community. It was nothing, but in the past, I have tried to head off those kinds of things. Like I could see that there may be some pain coming along, maybe some hurt coming along. And so I would try to buffer that with a positive text. And I didn't do that this time. In fact, I recognize and I think it's important to recognize that the pain is going to come, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna be let down. And then that's gonna be a gut punch. It is. Like it's how it goes. But I wanted also for her to recognize who she is and where she finds her value or where her value lies, in the ways that she tends to people, the way that she is such a conscientious student who cares more about learning than about just grades and whatever, like all the different ways that I don't need to share with you because that's between me and her. But I did use the term and say that she has ferocious grace because I've been thinking like, is fierce, because that was the word I had thought about. That's kind of a word that people use, but I don't know if fierce and ferocious, I know they're similar. I don't know if they're the same or not, but she's a warrior, man. And I think that ferocious grace is something that I want to lean into in 2025, and maybe I can learn it from her. I went to a restaurant called Barley's, which is where I go a lot, and I like to go by myself some these days and just sit and have a quick slice of pizza or maybe the Sunday salmon. But as I walked in a couple of days ago, there was a table full of people who uh, were the table full of people that I used to be a part of. And it stung, man. It really did. It stung. And there wasn't a whole bunch of interaction. There was some very brief, cordial hellos. But other than that, it was no interaction. And that's okay. But it did, like it got that little gut punch for me, sucking the air out of me for a little bit, making me feel a little bit sorry, I guess, for myself. But ferocious grace is having grace with myself, that it's okay for me to feel those things, right? Like it's okay for me to experience loss, even if it is from 6 years ago, even to try to anticipate or like wonder. And that's okay to have grace with myself. It's not just okay, it's essential. It's a battle for myself, like in this fierce kind of lion roaring kind of way. But I want to extend it to them as well. In the past, I could say, uh, the same words with different tone, with different meaning, and say they don't know me. But ferocious grace, kind of, I think the way I see it is they don't know me. They can't know what I have grown into in those years, and they can't know what I have grown into in the past couple of years in beginning to extend grace to myself, and they don't know that, and I don't know how how I heard that. Like there's this reciprocity, I guess. I realize that I can't do this alone, this life, and I've really been trying to. Um, but sitting down on my rock where I don't need to hunt very very hard for inspiration, I don't have to do that much when I'm sitting on my rock down at the river, and I recognize I can't do this alone. Not this life. There's too many travails, too many storms. And I should know as much as anybody that I can't do this alone because I've I've borne the heavy cost of bearing. I've borne the heavy cost of that burden, of trying to carry the weight of grief and shame and anger and fear and all of the things that come with trauma, with stress. I've tried to carry that and did try to carry it all by myself for most of my life. So I should know. And yet there's this part of me that roars, this part of me that says, but I have carried it. I've done it. And I know that roar. I respect and love that roar that tells me that I have done it. I can do it. Because it has protected me, that roar. It has protected and defended me from uh, from shame and guilt. It has done its part. But I don't need just the roar, just the ferocity, but to combine the two, ferocious grace. So I think about, who do I want in my boat? It's funny that these are the images that carry me. I have the tattoo on my arm of the boat, burning down the mast and setting sail for the new world, and um, this new image of being in a boat through life storms. It's funny because I get seasick, and I'm not much of a boat guy. Yet these things still continue. Who do I want in my boat? To make the charge, rather than cowing in fear. I felt it just for an instant. I felt that assurance. I felt that like eternal rest. And I haven't tried to put a word on it yet, but sitting on that rock, where when I was envisioning being in the boat and charging into the storm with my people, not doing it alone, I felt it. I did. It didn't last. Didn't last long. I don't mean to say that I have it bottled up, but I know about it. It's there. Who is it that encourages me? How do I accept and inhabit that courage? Who do I want in my boat? And who or what or where is the vine, the source of it all? Because I felt it. I'm telling you, it's not the first time. There's a source. There's a source that connects us all. And the issue that I have with so much of religion and the way that it's practiced these days is that it's about division. It's about drawing lines and building walls and raging against enemies and such as that. And I don't think you find it there. I don't think you find that eternal rest. I don't think that's ferocious grace. I think it's just folly. So yeah, I believe in thinking about stuff like that. I believe in putting the milk on top of your cereal, putting the cereal in first. Although a student of mine made a good point that if you ever refresh and you go back for a second bit of cereal, then you just pour it in on the milk that's still there. So I believe in pre-washing the dishes before putting them in the dishwasher, which, I don't know, seems to make the dishwasher redundant. But I don't want little crusty things that get dried on there. I believe in merging without stopping. With the quick over the shoulder glance as you get onto the ramp to find out where the hole is for you to be able to slide into. I'll let that rest. And people aren't always good at it. And so that's a part of the game too, is the person that's merging in front of you, what's their situation? And so it's a it's something that I really think could go on my gravestone, that I was a good merger. I believe in being in the left lane, and if you're in the left lane, then you go faster than the people in the right lane. Listen to Trey. I believe in being firm at the roundabout. Not overly aggressive, but that's the thing. You don't have to wait. You don't have to yield. I mean, if you've got space, go ahead and we'll all go around in a nice little circle. And everybody gets to go and you don't really have to stop. I believe in Toyota of Gastonia. It's one of my favorite places to be. It's they just take care of me. Even the smell of like the, what do you call those things? Urinal cakes. Even the smell of the bathroom is lovely. It just is. I believe in using the TV sleep timer. I know I'm not supposed to watch TV and looking at screens and all that kind of stuff, but I like to put whatever game is on, put my 1 hour sleep timer on. I never make it very far, but then when I wake up, the TV is off. It's beautiful. I believe in short chapters in novels or books, or at least a good space, between different paragraphs so that it provides a natural visual stopping point. And if that is the case, then I'm going to chew through the book for sure. Because I'll be like, oh, yeah, I believe I could get one more page. I know many of you are like that. I believe in using different color pens to delineate my thinking. I'm a scribbler. I don't do much planning out on the computer. I do a lot of it just writing down notes. Chaotic. And I believe in having the piles on my desk. I know where the things are. I know when I need them. I like that chaos. I believe in getting up and walking out, even in my slippies, to see the sky at sunset. If you're sitting on the couch or whatever, and you notice out the window that it's golden hour, or that the sun is shining on top of the trees, and the way that they look in the winter when all the leaves are gone, and or the sky is orange and blue or on fire of whatever other reason. I believe in getting up and going out there. It doesn't matter how cold it is. Go get a glance. And it's the only exception to wearing the slippies outside. Otherwise, they're not slippies. It is Christmas time. I believe in using the wrapping paper cardboard when it's done to mimic a baseball bat, or perhaps a sword like I am Inigo Montoya or the Man in Black, or just to whap Isaac right over the head. I believe in the Wordle flex. Man, my streak is back up to like 26. It took me 6 today. Gave me the shoo, but I got it. And when I get it and I nail it in a couple, I've noticed that because I do this every morning, sitting in this chair, in my blue chair in the nook, every morning I will do the Wordle. And when I get it, I realize that like I kind of look to the side and look up yeah, what's up? So I guess if I have a flex, it's a Wordle flex. But man, Merry Christmas to y'all. I think that Christmas is coming up, and I'm looking forward to giving out my presents. Last year I sang "All of Me" by John Legend and made some paintings. I've got some good individual presents and a good corporate present. Looking forward to giving those out. Unconventional DT. I'm not a big Christmas guy, but glad to have the peeps home. So um, yeah, merry all the things to you. This has been a Church of Six production for those of you who are in my boat. I'm sure I'm glad about it. You know who you are. As the kids might say 10, 12 years ago, ride or die. I need you. I do. I do. Church of Six. Brought to you by the Bucket of Life, the rope of relationship, the foundation tower of stone, the wall of belief, the token of hope, the magic rock times one received and one given. Nothing divine is desperate, and in order to be, try to never seem. May all your circumstances serve to awaken compassion, and as you go, teach peace. Don't forget to believe, y'all, and be live. Grace, ferocious grace, and peace, my friends.